ari ijambo ribi maze ukoreshe neza imari yawe. Radio Imanzi 105.1 FM. Buri wese abigize ibye twatsinda burundu akarengane na ruswa. U Rwanda ruzira ruswa n'akarengane mu cyerekezo 2050. Radio Imanzi 105.1 FM.
We got you updated. This is Radio Imanzi News in English.
Good evening. Thank you for tuning in. This is Radio Imanzi 105.1 FM, broadcasting from Kigali. Here are the news in English, brought to you by Alvin Umngari and Prince Manzi. The headlines. Angolan President Manuel Lourenço visits Rwanda. Rwandan coffee company expects sales boost from China import fair. African Union Chairman Macky Sall is set to attend the G20 summit in Bali. We'll be back with news and details. Welcome back. News and details. Today, President of Angola, Manuel Gonçalves Lourenço, who serves as the mediator on tensions between Rwanda and the Democratic Republic of Congo, has arrived in Rwanda during a visit in which he will meet with President Paul Kagame. He's in Kigali, where he met with His Excellency Paul Kagame as part of regional initiative to improve relations between Rwanda and the Democratic Republic of Congo. Through the regional mechanism called the Luanda Roadmap, the Angolan chief diplomat met his counterparts Vincent Biruta of Rwanda and Christophe Lutundula of Democratic Republic of Congo and discussed ways to normalize their strained relations. Democratic Republic of Congo accuses Rwanda of supporting the M23 rebel group fighting government forces FARDC in the country's east allegation. Kigali has long dismissed, calling the conflict an intra-Congolese issue. Rwanda has instead denounced the collaboration between the FARDC and the FDLR, a Congo-based militia whose members are accused of genocide crimes in Rwanda. Different regional mechanisms have been established to end the conflict in eastern DR Congo, including the Nairobi process in which the Congolese government negotiates with the many armed groups operating in the country. Lourenço travels to Rwanda after hosting the foreign ministers of Rwanda and the Democratic Republic of Congo last week. The Eastern African Legislative Assembly draw measures against terrorism and human trafficking. Prince Manzi has more details.
According to the East African Legislative Assembly Committee in Regional Affairs and Conflict Resolution, terrorism continues to be a potent threat to peace and security in East African region. In line with that, members of the committee are undertaking an oversight activity on the measures taken by the East African Community partner states in fighting terrorism and human trafficking as two major threats to peace and security in the region. Today, regional members of parliament interacted with actors in peace and security area in Burundi, Kenya, Rwanda, Tanzania, South Sudan, and Uganda. Specifically in Rwanda, it is expected that regional members of the parliament will hold talks with the representatives from Rwanda Investigation Bureau, Rwanda National Police, Ministry of Justice, and civil society. The committee indicated that the concept note for the event is to strengthen the legal, institutional, and policy framework for fighting terrorism and trafficking of people within the East African Community region. MP Fatuma Ndangiza, chairperson of IALA Committee on Regional Affairs and Conflict Resolution, said terrorism is a threat to peace and security in this region. She added, there are other groups in this region, like the issue of FDLR. On one hand, it's a genocidal outfit that committed the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi and is harbored in DRC. But the carrot acts like attacking Rwanda through aberrant gunfire and continue to destabilize the security and radicalization. On the issue of human trafficking, the committee said it remains a regional security challenge and one of the most profitable illegal activities of organized criminal groups.
Rwandan Coffee Company expects sales boosts from China import fair. A Rwandan coffee producer has praised the China International Import-Export as an opportunity for enterprises to grow as it prepares to introduce its new instant coffee to the Chinese market. For Chinese consumers, the Chinese International Import-Export gives us the platform to demonstrate what we have, according to Rwanda Farmer Coffee Sales and Marketing Manager Aaron Rutaisire. According to the manager, the new product on display was created in response to consumer demands in China, and given the superior quality of its coffee beans and the practicality of instant coffee, the company intends to increase sales in China even more. He expressed hope that the business will receive more orders for both current and potential customers who may either directly or indirectly purchase their goods through the trade show. The African enterprise can process roughly 9,000 kilograms of coffee beans per day and currently purchases its premium coffee beans from cooperatives of coffee producers. The company is now looking to China as a big market in the future because it's selective about its coffee products, according to Rutaisire. In terms of scale, purchasing power, online development platforms, and e-commerce is a significant market. Moreover, he said that China has set up mechanisms to facilitate business as long as one presents certificate of origin and complies with the requirement of regulators. Currently, the company has customers in more than 35 countries that buy its product online and in physical shops. We shall be supplying the most preferred coffee products during the exhibition with the same quality, and we can still do much better. We'll be back with economic news.
Economic news is a regular feature on Radio Imanzi.
Welcome back. Economic news. The trading session recorded a total turnover of 77,400 Rwandan francs from 1,800. The IMR shares traded in one deal on the equities market, while the fixed income market remained quiet. Equities counters closed as follows: Bralirwa with 170 Rwandan francs, Bank of Kigali with 272 Rwandan francs, Simirwa at 120 Rwandan francs, MTN Rwanda at 174 Rwandan francs, Equity at 440 Rwandan francs, Kenya Commercial Bank at 370 Rwandan francs, National Media Group at 1,200 Rwandan francs, Uchumi Supermarket Limited at 104 Rwandan francs, R&H Buffalo at 526 Rwandan francs. The dollar today, the buying price was 1,442 Rwandan francs. The selling price was 1,063 Rwandan francs. The pound was 1,219 Rwandan francs, and the selling price was 1,243 Rwandan francs. The euro, the buying price was 1,063 Rwandan francs, and the selling price was 1,084 Rwandan francs. The Kenyan shilling buying price was 8.55 Rwandan francs, and the selling price was 8.72 Rwandan francs. The Tanzanian shilling buying price was 0.44 and the selling price was 0.45 Rwandan francs. Burundian shilling buying price was 0.45 Rwandan francs, and the selling price was 0.51 Rwandan francs. The Ugandan shilling buying price was 0.27 Rwandan francs, and the selling price was 0.28 Rwandan francs. We'll be back shortly with international news.
Some items of international news on Radio Imanzi.
Welcome back. International news. The African Union chairman and Senegal President Macky Sall is said to attend the upcoming G20 summit in Bali. His first visit to a G20 summit comes as Africa looks to hold wealthier nations to account for their climate pledges. It follows Sall's attendance at the United Nations COP27 climate meeting in Egypt, where he was leading advocate for rich countries to contribute more cash to help Africa adapt to climate change. He will be there as the conference, and one of the agenda items he'll be discussing with the G20 partners in the Senegal is GETP. The summit in Bali, Indonesia, will take place on November 15th and 16th, overlapping the second week of the COP27 conference. Somali President Hassan Mohammed makes second visit in Eritrea. Prince Imanzi has more details.
Somali President Hassan Sheikh Mohammed arrived in Eritrea's capital, Asmara. Him and his delegation were accorded a warm welcome by Eritrea's President Asias Afwerki. During his 4-day state visit, Mr. Mohammed is expected to hold bilateral talks on regional issues of common concern.
The army on Thursday opened fire on demonstrators in Eswatini, formerly known as Swaziland, a small South African country protesting the arrest of their colleagues, leaving 3 people injured. About 100 minibus and bus drivers marched through the town of Manzini to demand the release of 4 of their colleagues who were arrested earlier this week after an attack on a transport customer. Government spokesman Alphas Ngosamalo said the law enforcement agencies will continue to enforce the rights of users. The Eswatini authorities have stifled dissent and pro-democracy movements, with political parties banned since 1973 in Africa's last absolute monarchy. A court in Angola has jailed dozens of former soldiers belonging to the Presidential Guard for up to 14 years of fraud and embezzlement in a high-profile mass corruption trial. 49 people, including officers employed during the era of former President José Eduardo dos Santos and linked to the Presidential Security Services, as well as bank workers, went on trial in June. They faced different charges, including embezzlement, fraud, and abuse of power. The judge said investigators found $4 million and 391,000 euros in cash at 2 Luanda properties owned by one army major, Pedro Lusati. He was also found in possession of 30 watches worth $600,000. With that, we come to the end of the program. Let us backtrack to the headlines. Angolan President Manuel Lourenço visits Rwanda. The Rwandan coffee company expects sales boosts from China import fair. The African Union chairman, Macky Sall, is said to attend the G20 summit in Bali. This was Alvin Umngari together with Prince Imanzi. Thank you for staying with us. Stay tuned at the frequency for more programs. Have a wonderful night.